Okay, I totally forgot to do this before the video, so I'm going to just add this section before that. You need to have Elementor CSS or Elementor Pro for having this custom CSS panel, and you can buy it from my description, and that way you could support me directly. So make sure you use it, and yeah, thank you. Now we are just going to create this quick animation or like an attention grabber. So when you hover on this screen, it just points to this button, and I would obviously suggest to make like a better design. This is just me like copy pasting stuff around here just to like showcase for this tutorial, but make sure you create a good design, and then when you hover on it, you could see how this one like just turns into this monster. So let me show you guys how you can do it. So basically just create your content like this or however you want it to be. And right now you could see nothing's happening because I removed the CSS class. And let me also remove the CSS class from this one, which is this thing. So you could see nothing's happening on this one, and on hover this effect is happening. And basically make sure you create a good design and then add like a good arrow to wherever you want, and you don't really need to do even this animation, but still let's just get with it. So I'll call this one, so this but arrow, I'll call it like arrow, I guess arrow anim. So arrow anim, basically arrow animate, and then we will choose the main container. So whichever or wherever you want the hover to be. So let's say you only want the hover to be around here, so whenever the mouse is on this part, it should move and not at every single part. Then select this one, but I want it to be on all of this part, so I'll select the main container, go to this one, and then I'll type selector. Or you can also do is you could actually add a CSS class to here, like I don't know, like container, something like this, and then you can basically just type that stuff and then also do it. But I'll use selector, and then wherever I use selector, you could add this thing is also if you wish to do by this method, by using like CSS class method, but I'll use selector. So just remember, wherever selector, add conta or whatever you use there. Then on selector, so when selector is hovered, we want to do something to the arrow. So basically whenever we are hovering on it, we want this stuff to do something. So for the first one, I'm just going to do is transform, rotate, -30°. So you could see as soon as I do that, it just basically just points to this thing whenever I'm on this container. And just like that, if I would have typed here conta like this, it would still work because I have named it conta around here. Now we don't want it to be like so much instantly. So what we will do is go here, type transition 0.3 second like this. And now the animation has like this transition, but you could see that it is actually just snapping back to the first position. We don't want that. And the way you actually fix that is by basically making sure that it is actually added in the default state, so not in the hover state. So if I add my transition in the default state, you could see it works for the both sections. Whenever I hover, if I don't keep it like this, then it will just pop back to the first location. So that's first thing we have done. Next is this crazy animation that's happening, and for this I will have to copy paste it. So let me just click this. Oops, not this, this one. And basically we are doing a CSS animation, which is this one. Let me just show you guys what's happening. Now I'm not going to teach like what you call CSS animation right now, but basically what we do is we create keyframes and then we give name, or we give like some name to this keyframe or this animation. So for this one, it's called shake. I'll call it like shake anim, like this shake animation. And then at 0% we are doing this transformation and this CSS. Then at 10% we are doing this CSS. At 20% we are doing this CSS. 30% we are doing this CSS. And basically what we are doing is, let's say if you want it to go from, so let me just quickly show you guys. So I'll do is now this one, not in this one. So let's go in the main CSS. So what we will do is, so I added the keyframes, shake anim, and then let me just copy paste the 0th location, and let's copy the 100th location. So nothing's happening, you could see. But let's say I make this one have like, okay, obviously it's not going to do anything, because even though we have given the shake anim keyframes, we have not actually assigned it to, or just told this thing that you have to do this animations. So what you need to do is, in this one, which we have called dot arrow anim, we will actually just type animation and then call the name. So what was the name? Shake anim. We want it to happen for 1 second and for infinite duration. So you could see it is kind of doing some stuff, and basically 1 second is basically we are telling it to do this from 0 to 100. In that 1 second, at the total start of it, we are going to add this location, and at the end of the 1 second we are adding this location, and it is just looping back and forth like that. And you could actually add any animation. I'm not teaching like CSS animation, but I'll add this code in description. It is basically at every so let's say if it's for 1 second, then at 100 milliseconds we are doing this stuff. At 200 milliseconds we are just moving stuff. So we are just moving it in like a different location in a second. So let me just add it here like this. Let me remove the shake anim, and you could see that this is happening like this. It's already moving. We don't want that to do. We want it to actually only work when we are hovering on it. So instead of in anim, we want it to be in on hover state. So when I scroll here, you could see it's doing that stuff. So it's basically just animating. Now another thing is, as we are using like transform properties around here, we are not going to see the same animation which is like turning from like top to like this rotate effect is not showing, because this one is actually getting overwritten by this animation. So we will actually use different property which is called like basically rotate and then 30 degree, and then we are done. And basically we are just doing the rotate, and then we are doing the animation in different stuff. And yeah, that's all. You could see it works pretty easily. It just points to the button whenever you're hovering on it. And if you wish to do like stuff in something else, so right now you could see it's not working, but I only wanted to work on this one. I'll basically copy this one here. Nothing's happening, because now one thing is, if I add this code in like this one, it doesn't work. It actually has to be in like the main container, and I totally don't understand it. I'm not like a CSS guru or something. I don't know how this thing works, why it is not working when we are using it on this one. So right now we need to have it in the main container and in this section like this, you see, and then it works perfectly. So yeah, that's how you can make this crazy animation easily. And you could add any animation you want here. There's so many ways to animate it. Just look at CSS animations and you will find so many options. So yeah,